I mean, right in the beginning of COVID, I
Oh,
got, when COVID hit New York was about March.
okay.
So it's 4 years ago, literally.
Mhm.
I got COVID. I nearly died. And my doctor was like, oh, should I go to the hospital? The hospitals are overwhelmed. So rather stay home. She emailed me every day. Amazing doctor. I don't think she realized that I nearly died.
Oh, yeah.
It was, it was bad. And she's like, are you okay? What could I do for you? Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so I had terrible long COVID, very difficult recovery with my lungs. And finally, I would say a year later, I was starting to work part time again. And like in the beginning, I worked for 2 hours and slept the rest of the day. So I was getting back a little bit of my health, but I kept getting COVID. I say I'm a frequent flyer with COVID. I've had it more times than I'd like to imagine. So it was really challenging. And at a certain point I had COVID again and I lost my ability to walk for 3 weeks, 3 months. And I was an MRI scanner for an hour and a half. There was nothing wrong with me. I was in the ER overnight. I saw top neurologists. There was nothing wrong with my labs. There was nothing wrong with me. COVID.
Hmm.
And at that time, Irene introduced me to what was then the Flow Patch. Um, for kids with ADHD. She saw my Parenting with Gelly platform on Instagram and Facebook. And I looked into the research because I'm always about giving my clients options. Many parents don't want to use medication. I don't blame them. They're looking for something. So I really gave a couple of hours to look at the research, watch the videos, and I was impressed. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I'll definitely recommend this. This is wonderful. And Irene and I started this communication back and forth. She had no idea about any of my COVID health challenges. And about 3 months later, I reached out to her and I said, well, do they have something for COVID? I lost my ability to walk again. Every time I got COVID, it seems like that was a weak link in my brain and I'd lose my ability to walk. So she said, yeah, I'll send you some samples. And she sent me some samples. I put on the Liberty patch. And very shortly after, I started walking again.
Right.
And it was incredible.
Yeah,
She sent me about 5 or 6 of the Liberty patch and a few other patches. And on day 7, I wasn't walking. So I called her and I said, well, how do I get these? Because, like, my goodness, I'm not walking. And at that point, I called my neurologist already and I said, well, I'm wearing these patches, the neurostimulation. He said, it's great behavioral feedback for your brain. If it's helping, keep wearing them. So God bless Irene because she went to the post office and overnighted a stranger
right.
more Liberty patches so I could walk
Yeah.
until my order would come 7 to 10 days later. And I'm forever grateful for her. Um, and I have this video, which I don't share a lot. So I was playing with my grandson and he didn't like Band-Aids. So I said, look, I've got a patch. It's like a Band-Aid. I'll take it off. I was 2.5 weeks later and I took off his Band-Aid. And an hour and a half later, I was not walking again. And that's when I took the video. I called my husband home and I said, before I put on a patch, I need you to video this because I will never be without these patches again. And now, almost 2 years later, of course, there are days when I forget to put on the patches. I'm walking just fine, but it's been a process. My feet have been attacked 4 or 5 times. And every time that happens, I add the victory patch to support my muscles, but I keep moving.
Yeah.
Um, so that was one major thing. And then I started using the Defend patch, and that was a deal breaker because with an autoimmune issue, I get sick all the time, and I'm no longer I'll catch a bug, but I get over it very quickly. And now, after almost 2 years of wearing the Defend patch, my grandkids got Coxsackie, the hand, foot, mouth disease.
Oh yeah.
That's super contagious. I held them, I kissed them. I didn't even realize this was happening. I didn't get it, which was crazy.
Right.
It was absolutely wild. And as my doctor would say, like, you're much healthier. But she calls them biofeedback stickers. So you're still wearing the biofeedback stickers? Yes, I am. And I went back to Manhattan almost 2 years later to the neurologist because I wanted him to see. I believe that patients need to come back and tell doctors when they see something, when they get help. So he said, "Oh, what's the website called?" Because another patient came in with this.
Oh.
And I just told him superpatch.com because like I didn't have the relationship with him to start giving him my link. But I feel like we need to tell our doctors when we see something that's drug free, because honestly, doctors don't necessarily want to give pills all the time. Medicine is there for a reason, but they don't know anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we have some research to show them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the wonderful thing, the independent research, and that's just wonderful. So, I also had an issue with understanding food and cooking. I think there were certain parts of my brain that were affected by COVID, just like people lost their ability to smell or different things. And over time, there have been different patches that I've tried and cocktails that I've created from the different patches. But thank God I'm cooking and I'm able to feed my family. And it's just an ongoing process where every 2 months I see another shift and another repair to my brain, which is wonderful. And I have a very full life. I work, as you know, I work as a therapist, a trauma therapist, a play therapist. And I'm a very active, busy grandma. And people ask me, like, how can you absorb a bunch of grandchildren into your house at over 50 and just be going from morn to dawn, hopping and popping and cooking and taking care of mom and everything? And of course, I do have help, but I have patches. And you know what? Those patches, they really, I think there were a couple of months where I added victory and focus. I was like, I need to super turbocharge my energy.
Right.
And because it's just me and my husband otherwise. So, just taking in all that extra mentally, emotionally, physically, all those things, it's definitely, it's a lot. It's like running a playgroup all day,
Yeah.
So thank God, I'm just so grateful. And then I don't know if you noticed my skin is any different. I tried it on as a
you look
experiment.
great. You look super.
I've always had young looking skin. I've always had people tell me like, oh, you must be, well, if you have grandkids, you got to be over 50. But like seriously, I get mistaken as a teenager when I'm walking around with teenagers. Let's say, work, I try to I used to try to wear suit jackets so I could look older. But COVID has definitely brought fine lines, under eye bags, and all that stuff. So if you can tell, I'll zoom in. I had purple, green, yellowish, whatever thingies. And I decided when the Lumi patch came out to stop doing skincare.
Oh.
To see what happens. So 3 months without any skincare.
Wow.
0 green or yellow or purple under here. And it's wonderful. It's so easy. It's just a patch.
Right. It's amazing.
That's all.
It blows my mind too. Absolutely blows my mind.
So yeah, so that's been wonderful. And what else? So I'd like to share some great stories about pregnancy.
Yeah, please.
And delivery and postpartum. It's my daughter's second pregnancy using the pain patches and the Liberty and Defend for postpartum. And as a result of people seeing her recovery, just quick, easy, back to herself, tons of our relatives and women in my community are wearing the patches during pregnancy. And I'm actually in the process of working with Dr. Andrea to create a little pregnancy, a labor and delivery kit of all the patches, because people don't want to buy 10, like they want samplers to just use for labor and delivery.
Yeah.
So we're in the process of talking about that. We'll have to catch up about that someday. So that's been something that I'm doing. And I also have my hotline where I interview people, and I answer questions, and we have the replays of all our calls. And the purpose of that is to just spread awareness. I went into the business of being a therapist. Well, it's not really a business. We do get paid, but being a therapist is not like being a doctor. You know what I mean? You go into it because it's a calling. It's hard work. It's a calling. And I had to ask myself, when I had this public miracle of regaining my ability to walk and regaining my health, and my clients seeing this, I mean, you can't fake walking. You're either walking or you're not walking, right? And people asked, is there anything for mental health? And that's where almost 2 years ago, I started the test drive in my practice. And I'll show you what I got here. Do you see all my patches?
Oh, yes.
So when clients come in, some of my clients decide to get patches and wear them every day. But some of my clients come in and just put on the peace patch, put on the Liberty patch, put on the joy patch, put on the focus patch, put on the pain patch if they've got a headache. I even have the defend patches in case anyone has, just feeling under the weather. I'll give them a couple to take home. We have the Kick It patch, which is for helping with bad habits, but together with the peace patch or the focus patch, what I've discovered, and I think it's a breakthrough, is that negative thoughts and ruminating thoughts are bad habits that the brain has gotten into as a result of trying to protect us or trying to survive difficult times. People absolutely love adding the Kick It patch. It's wonderful. It's really been a breakthrough when adding that to other patches. And, client just left and she said, adding the joy patch, even this, she wears 2 patches on a regular basis, but I give her some when she comes and she picks whatever she wants. And they don't need to pay me for it. They're already paying me for therapy. I absorb the cost. And she said it really gave me a mood boost for the week. So I'd like to have it again. I was like, please. So that's been very much fun and also super rewarding in the sense that I could help my clients use a drug-free solution. Many people don't want to have Klonopin. It numbs their feelings, and benzodiazepines aren't, they're not helpful or healthy in the long run anyway. Many people prefer to try a natural herbal or vitamin or something to help them feel better before they go to Zoloft or Prozac. And here we have just put on a sticker or 2 or 3 or whatever floats your boat. And just do it for a month. And I always, of course, along with therapy, I recommend eating and drinking enough water and doing exercise, because that's a natural serotonin booster. But it's really something that has made a huge difference in my ability to help clients with therapy readiness, with reducing the stress load of coming in to do trauma work. So that's just been a deal breaker. And I love it. And I think I'll always be having patches in my office. And other than that, just the run of the mill putting on patches. Oh, this is a cute story. One of our triplets had was crying through the night since mommy went into labor a couple of days and waking up her sisters, not fun. And you know, we were up around the night with them. Daddy was, mommy was, we were, I mean, she was not calming down. She knew something was different. And even when mommy had the baby, she was still crying. And mommy stayed up all night with her. Day two, when mommy came home from the hospital, they were trying to figure out what to do in the middle of the night with her. And my son-in-law said, I think it's time for a peace patch. I was sleeping, so it wasn't my idea. So I can't claim credit for it. But, you know, they put her on a peace patch. And within about 15, 20 minutes, she went to sleep for the night. The next night, put it on again. She did not wake up. And she wore the peace patch for 4 nights. She's totally fine.
Wow.
But it was fascinating to see how something positive. She wasn't neglected. She was fully, I think she didn't see her mommy maybe for 24, 36 hours. But she was with us. She was with her dad. You know, she's very connected.
Mm-hmm.
Not every child will feel that level or nuance,
Mm-hmm.
but she did. And the peace patch just helped reroute that stress mechanism.
Awesome.
So
that's wonderful.
That was lovely. And I'll leave you with a joke. Now they're with us. And every morning, I have a bunch of kids lining up. They know where my patches are. Patches can cost money.
Yeah.
And they're each insisting on having patches.
Oh boy.
So we put them on the vent patch for a few days. I said, that can't hurt.
Uh-huh. Right.
We make believe that we're putting on the patch and we give them the white sticker end.
Oh.
And my grandson is saying, you know, he can't wait till he's a big. You told me that's for when I'm going to be learning a lot. So I can't wait to be big so I can have a focus patch. Anyway.
Oh, that's cute.
It's definitely, my husband loves the peace patch and all the patches. Every patch that they make, he has on. He just says, I don't need to know what it does. He says, I can learn better. I can make more money. I can have less stress. I can feel better. I can ride my bicycle longer distances. I just want whatever they make, just get it for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and he really sees the difference with certain patches if he doesn't wear them, but he doesn't really care. There was once when we were away for a month and he was without the patches for 3 weeks. I lovingly packed them, but you know, and after 3 weeks, he says, you know, Gelly, wear those patches because I really think I wear them because they make a difference. I don't know why I'm not wearing them. So,
yeah.
I think we'll always be sharing the patches. For me, I just want to wrap up by saying I went into being a therapist to help people, and the patches, if I hadn't had my personal experience with them, I think I would. That it can make such a big difference in your life.
For sure.
But because it did, I tell myself I need to go out of my comfort zone and I need to share, because just like Irene shared with me and made such a huge impact in my life, if I can make the big impact in someone else's life, you know, that's priceless. And how many people's lives have I impacted by being able to say, look, try this before you try medication. Go talk to your doctor talk to your psychiatrist about it. Do it alongside it, right?
Mhm.
And how many people have I just been able to help with a toothache or a headache? Oh, and my favorite story, the dentist. I go with a paint patch right here. I did not need any Tylenol after a root canal.
Wow.
None. Had the paint patch.
Right.
Anyway, well, it's great catching up. I'm sure I'll have lots more stories to share sometime soon, but got to go back. I got 2 phone calls in between.
Okay.
Mommy wants me to help with
Thanks
a
for
baby,
coming on
and we'll go
today,
back
Julie. It's
there.
really nice to see your beautiful face.
Yes,
It's all shiny and glowy with Lumi, and
thank
it's
you.
like it's been unbelievable how many people you've helped with this business, and it's so nice to have you on my team, which is
Thank you.
super exciting and fun to, your girls and guys are moving and shaking in New York and all over the world. So it's exciting.
Changing lives. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so
Drug
much again. Oh, what? Sorry.
free.
What's that?
Drug free.
Oh, drug free. Exactly. Exactly. Totally safe for
That's it.
everybody, even babies.
Yes.
Well, thank you
All
so
right.
much again. We'll talk again soon. Bye
Take
bye
care.
now. Have a wonderful
Yeah. Bye
day.
bye. Take
Absolutely.
care.